Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Ask YP Now live show. Now, this is a show focusing on positive living, work-life balance, living with passion, success in life and business, and most importantly, making the world a better place. And this morning, afternoon, evening, we've got a special guest coming to us all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. So we've got Norm Dominguez here. So Norm, would you want to introduce yourself for a couple of minutes?
YP, thank you very much. Yes, Norm Dominguez. And gosh, I've known YP for the better part of 20 years, but professionally, my background is for the last 35 years been involved with BNI, Business Network International. And luckily, I've been a member. I've been an executive with BNI, and my life has been full of what I like to think of as positivity, helping people grow and make positivity a habit in their lives. So started as a member. I was the CEO of BNI when I retired. And now I've got this fancy title that's called Vice Chair Emeritus, which means you can never fire me. At the same time, I'm in a volunteer capacity. I'm known as a senator. For any of you that might be aware of the United States, no, I'm not a U.S. senator. It's just a title that I have. And there's a group of us that help advise the CEO and chairman of BNI on various topics. At the same time, I have personally, and you'll see on the screen, helped to launch a program called the Global Positivity Movement, which is a movement that helps people make positivity a habit. And the whole idea is to make life as fun as we possibly can.
Woohoo! I like that, Norm. So out of curiosity, so you started the, can I shorten it to be the Possi Global Movement?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what was the trigger? What inspired you, or what happened as the starting point of the Possi Global Movement? Yeah.
Well, the way I really like to begin that, YP, is many, many years ago, 8 words had a huge impact on me. And those 8 words was be positive, I will display a positive and supportive attitude.
Okay.
I will display a positive and supportive attitude. So that's become pretty much a habit for me. I met a gentleman in Johannesburg, South Africa, when I was doing a training, and we started talking about the importance of attitude, which evolved into positive attitude. And then 5 years ago, we made a decision to launch the Possi Global Movement, with the whole idea being helping people to make positivity a habit. Because a friend of mine wrote a book called Human Relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, he talks about 87% of the impressions made on us each and every day are not positive.
Wow.
Think about that for a second. So our goal is to turn around and reverse that trend.
Okay.
And let's see if we can make positivity 87% good instead of not so good.
Mm.
And so we launched this movement, YP, in order to do that. And officially, it happened in 2017 when we released the original book that we call The Magic of Positivity.
Okay.
And we revised it a little bit. And in 2019, released the second edition that looks just like this. I'm not sure there.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, like this. And now we do sessions weekly called the Positively Remarkable Forum. All of it centers around the content of positivity that comes out of our book.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a moment and I'm gonna put your Facebook page here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out a bit more about the Possi Global movement and know what are the times, the schedule, and so on of the Positively Remarkable Forum, right, Norm? Right. You could go to this Facebook link here and get the details. Yeah, I'll make sure that it's all posted up after this presentation. Okay.
And we also have a website, YP, and it's really simple. It's PossiGlobal.com.
Okay. I'm going to
Is our
just
website.
I'm going to get the link and then I'm going to put it up there in a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit more about the book? Okay. Right.
Well,
what's the content of the book? Yeah.
Well, the book, the way we set the book up is that we say our mission is to provide opportunity for people to make positivity a habit. And that mission is supported with what we call our global vision statement that reads this, and I'm going to read it to you. So let me grab my document here. It says, establish a global positivity movement that is touching people's lives around the world. Our efforts are transforming people's lives by shifting their minds to a positivity dominant mindset, or a positive dominant mindset. We want to do that through what we call two-word messaging.
Okay.
And that two-word messaging is we want to get rid of distraction. Remember, I told you there's that stuff that gets in the way 87% of the time. And by getting rid of distraction, we can move forward with a focused on attention on happiness, love, passion, joy, and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that, there's a gesture that we ignite when we get together with people, and it's a common gesture that all of us have seen throughout our lives. That gesture is thumbs up. So give us thumbs up. And what that means is we approve of something, we like something, we agree. It's just a universal gesture that really nobody owns, but it's a common practice around the world. And then I'll turn around and say, well, why positivity? And when you hear, see, or feel positive, it puts our attitude in a better place. Our spirits are lifted, and we can accomplish more. It puts us in a healthy mindset. And to do that, many, many years ago, and this is right in the book, there's a saying that I became very attached to. And that saying is, faith makes things possible. ... Not easy. Now, I'm a fairly spiritual individual, but when I think about all of the things that may have happened to us in our lifetimes, it's always not going to be easy. Sometimes we have to make adjustments. And when we make those adjustments, we can turn around and be more forthcoming. So what we do is we created what we call the law of positivity. And the law of positivity is this: when you have and practice a positive attitude, you will become more excellent in what you do. Be positive and you will be happy. Making something like that happen is, I was very influenced during my professional career about the importance of values. And in business, you might call them core values. But we wanted to take it to another level. And in taking it to another level, we adopted 6 pillars of strength. Now think about that. A pillar is something that's very bold, stands upright, and can help people move forward. So we have 6 of them. So
what are they? What do you know?
Show that you care.
Okay.
Pretty simple. Showing people that you care through a gesture. We showed you a gesture. You can send them a text message. You can send them an email. You might want to send them a gift of some sorts. But showing people that they care is very important in life or to life. The second one is accept responsibility. The buck stops here, not someplace else. And that's all part of leadership, whether it's in the family environment, whether it's in the personal, professional environment, and everything in between. Keep your word. When you promise somebody you're going to do something, follow through with that. It's not easy because we're easily influenced by so many different things that surround us. An example, you and I could be talking about a topic that you're really committed to. And you're asking me, Norm, what do you think? Would you like to be involved? I'll take a deep breath and I go, YP, you know what? Give me a few seconds, a day or two to think about this and let me get back to you so that I can assess whatever you're doing, how I might be able to be helpful. And I may come back to you and say, YP, I can't get fully engaged, but there's this one little piece that you were talking about. Maybe I can be helpful to you on that. Or maybe I'm so busy right now that let me keep this on file, and maybe in a year we can reunite. So, keeping your word. We have a fun one because there's so much serious activity going on in everything that we do. Another pillar is always, enjoy a little craziness. You got to have fun in life.
I like that one. Yeah.
A little craziness. I'm really influenced by my granddaughter, our youngest granddaughter.
Okay.
And a little story that just happened today. First of all, she always has a smile on her face. She's 8 years old. She's a gymnast. Been going to a gym since she was 5 years old. Well, just a couple of days ago, she was at the gym working out with her coach and other participants, and she fell off of a bar. She dislocated and broke a small bone in her elbow. But she actually, right now, as we're speaking, is going through a surgical procedure. But her parents, my son and daughter-in-law, sent us a photo with the biggest smile on her face about an hour ago. She was ready to go into this. She's a bubble in our life. Well, that's the craziness that influences me, my wife, because she's always a happy little kid. You've got to enjoy a little craziness. And it comes in different packages. Always think remarkable. YP, you and I have known each other for a long, long time. And if you ask me how I am, I'm going to respond remarkable. I might even say positively remarkable. And when I say that to you, I'm telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But what I'm not telling you is what side I might be on. Maybe I had something happen to me that left me concerned. Maybe not. Maybe it's on the upside. Just as we're doing this session right now, I know that later on in the day, my wife and I are going to see what we can do to help our family, our son, our daughter-in-law, their 8-year-old daughter, but they also have a 12-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy. And luckily, they live local to us. So we want to be able to be helpful whenever we can. And the very last is to treat with respect. So those six pillars can add a whole new dimension to being positive on an ongoing basis. And so we define them in our book, The Magic of Positivity.
So Norm, the these pillars, when I listen to that, and I'm listening to them, partly from a viewpoint of a business owner. I'm just thinking, if you just even take away the that being the pillars of positivity, if you just take that as six basic principles that all business owners
Mhm.
should adopt. And can you imagine, what our business will be like if we fulfill all the six pillars, isn't it? Right?
Well, I think and you can only really work on one of them at a time, but you are
Mm-hmm.
absolutely correct. It's like a team. You've got these six people, these six pillars that are on your side. They
Mm-hmm.
become a practice or a habit in your activities.
Mm-hmm.
And something can always remind you of one of the pillars. Like I
Yep.
just mentioned, the enjoy a little craziness of my granddaughter. I
Mm-hmm.
also mentioned, treating people with respect. We've gone through some difficult times worldwide in the last 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely a place that escaped this COVID situation.
That's right.
Businesses were highly affected.
Mm.
And then right now, at least in many parts of the world, we're going through an economic challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you've got these positive references that you can have on your side all the time or at your side all the time, it can only reinforce what you might want to accomplish within your business.
Mm. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, do you have any stories regarding? I mean, I'm putting you on a spot. Do you have any stories relating to the pillars in a business context?
You know what? Probably the story that really comes first to my mind is it starts. I began my career YP in the corporate world,
Okay.
and that lasted for about 12 years. And then I got the entrepreneurial bug, and I
Okay.
wanted to do something on my own. So I
Mm.
left the corporate world, and I was introduced to mobile communications. Maybe
Okay.
not the way you know them today through these devices that we have, but it
Mm-hmm.
was pagers.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
still know what those are.
yeah, well, but I had my own little paging company. I was
Okay.
learning how to be a business person.
Okay.
Well, I found out that I wasn't real good at it, and I made some mistakes, and
Mm.
those mistakes um, led to some challenges.
Okay.
And then I literally went through a 7, 8, 9 year period that I had to reestablish my credit.
Mm-hmm.
But it introduced me to the throes of Business Network International, BNI.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, as I explained when I introduced myself, I got to do a lot of things there. So
Mm-hmm.
we are going to make mistakes,
Mm.
but if you've got habits that you've developed
Mm.
that'll give you a positive reinforcement, then it's
Mm-hmm.
easily to look back and say, I learned from that and I can
Mm.
move forward. And
Mm.
so now I'm in the what I call the golden years of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
it allows me to engage with a lot of great people from all over the world. People like you, YP. We talk
Thank
fairly
you.
often, and we met one another through this BNI platform that I mentioned. But both of us are out there trying to help people that are in business advance their efforts.
That's right. You mentioned about having the entrepreneurial spirit. Many of the people in my circle are, because through BNI and other things I'm involved in, entrepreneurs or small business owners, right? And there's so many challenges that business owners face, especially if you're trying to start up something new.
Mhm.
And you really have got to be embracing those six pillars. For example, for me, the way I say it is they got to accept responsibility for your decisions, like what you said, right? sometimes we make right decisions, sometimes we make not so good decisions. But if we blame other people, we'll never improve. So if you take ownership of it and accept responsibility, there's definitely one way that helps you move forward, right? And I like that funny one. You say,
Enjoy a little craziness.
yeah, enjoy the craziness, because if you take everything so seriously and you can't laugh at yourself, oh, the journey is going to be really painful. One of my favorite words is going, "Whoops, did I just do that?" And then laugh about it, and then move on and fix it. Right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got to be able to laugh at yourself. I mean, technology is not an easy thing for me, and I've made my fair share of mistakes, but I'm always willing to try to attempt to learn more tools. I mean, heck, I remember when I got my first computer,
Okay.
and it was an Apple IIe. So that was back in the 80s. Now, some of you that are listening, 80s, God, this guy is old. But I've watched the advancements of technology move forward to where, now we have these little tools are with us that our life is here. So much information is transmitted. And when you accept responsibility for all that information that's transmitted, it's not always going to be good. But you handle it, you move forward, and you can make progress. And that's really important in what we do.
Yeah. You're talking about the technology, it made me remember that day when I first saw the first smartphone, and I asked myself, why would I want to have my handphone and my camera into one gadget? If one thing spoils, I'll get both spoiled. So I was having a what's it called? Is it a tungsten PDA? I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with that. I've got one of those, and of course, I've got a normal camera. And to me, it's important that those two separate. But nowadays, I don't think I could ever live without my handphone, and my handphone is actually my camera, and I have got better resolution than the previous camera I have. That's progress. Norm, just now you were mentioning about making positivity a daily habit, and I think this is pretty important. Because nowadays the world has got so many things happening that's not so positive, and it's creating challenges on a massive scale. And there's a saying that if you want to transform the world, you transform yourself first. Correct? You want to change the world, change yourself first.
Yeah.
And it all starts with ourselves, right? Can you speak a bit into this, about the importance of making positivity a habit and how that can ripple and influence the community? Yeah.
I've found it's really important. What I've done is I've adopted what I call the practice of using 2-word messages that deliver a positive thought to you. I happen to have what I call my own positivity tree.
Okay.
My positivity tree consists of, again, a few 2-word messages. Early in life, I learned how important it is to just be yourself. You don't have to try to be somebody you're not. And at the same time I've learned that, I turned around and I go, heck, YP, I am abundantly grateful for this opportunity to be with you. Gratitude is such an important part of everything we do. So I'm always reflecting to myself how important it is to be grateful or abundantly grateful. And yet there's, and I'll give you a third one that's important to me, and I call it stay calm. If you stay calm, it's amazing what you can accomplish. Remember when I was mentioning about the pillar was accept responsibility. Or take a deep breath, count to 3, and accept responsibility or be calm in whatever the decision is that you make. So being calm or staying calm is very, very important.
Right.
And so that's just 3 of them. Now imagine if you had 10 of them, and you can
Wow.
not just have an umbrella, you can have a positivity tree. And then your friends can have their own umbrella or tree. And then positivity will compound itself. And I think it will just through 2-word message. I have referenced or mentioned I do this thing called the Positively Remarkable Forum. And it's
Okay.
a program that we do on Zoom. And we do it for the Americas as well as Europe and Africa on a Monday. And then we do another one for Asia and the Pacific Rim countries on every first and third Saturday morning. And we gather for about a 30-minute period, 45-minute period, and we walk through the kinds of things that you and I have just talked about, but we love storytelling. And every week we have somebody that will talk about one of our pillars, and they'll surround it with a story of that has to do with enjoy a little craziness and what it means to them, in terms of keeping your word, etc., etc. So when you can do those kinds of things, it does nothing but put you in the right spirit. So build your own positivity umbrella. 3, 4, 5 2-word messages. Create your own. Take ownership for those so that you can move forward in the best way that you can.
So my favorite too is being awesome.
Be awesome. And I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
YP.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah. Why remain average when being awesome is an alternative, right? Woohoo.
It is. There's no
Right.
question about that. And so,
So no. Yeah.
yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and so, I don't know, I'm not sure how we are on time, but so let me give a closing thought.
Okay.
Because
And that's what I was going to ask you to do, Norm. I was just going to say that we're coming up to the half-hour mark. So
Okay.
can you share, a closing remark, or what tip you give to our listeners, about being positive? Yeah.
A person that really I've studied a little bit, I'm very fond, and many of us have heard of a gentleman by the name of Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein was responsible for the creation of the law of God. Why am I drawing a blank?
Law of relativity.
Relativity.
Right?
Thank you, my friend. That's why we're doing this together. And but it was a very complex law. Well, if you read his biography, you learn that Einstein was a fairly simple person. And I found a quote, and the quote says, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough."
Okay.
Well, I go, how do I explain positivity in a simple way? I opened up with 8 words. Well, I'm going to condense and say there are 7 words that can help you stay positive all the time. And those words are: be positive and you will be happy.
Wow.
Be positive and you will be happy. Try to be positive and negative at the same time. You can't do it. Try to be happy and sad at the same time, but you can't do that. But you can be positive and happy at the same time. So 7 words I share with all of you. Be positive and you will be happy.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much, Norm. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening in. Whether you're listening it live, and this live show would be stored in all the Facebook pages and all the social media channels, and you could come back and re-listen to it. So whether you're listening to a recording of this, in future, or the live show, we want to thank you very much for staying with us. And as a token of appreciation for you being there, I've got a free gift for you. I've actually written a book, and this book is actually an Amazon bestseller. You can go to Amazon and buy this book. But alternatively, and I suggest you do the alternative, go to this link here and download a free copy of this book. Yeah, because my name is YP Lai. I'm the work less and more expert, and I do enjoy helping people getting their work-life balance and achieve their financial and time freedom. Okay, what's the point of having lots of money, no time, or having lots of time and no money, right, Norm? Okay, so with this, I'm going to say bye-bye to everybody. Now let's wave bye-bye to all our audience. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your day. Stay positive. And what's your keyword, Norm? The two-word messaging that you want to leave with them as we wrap up. Yeah.
Be yourself.
Okay.
Be yourself, my friends.
Thanks, Norm. Okay, everybody. See ya.